Y'all. So hey y'all, it's Nerdy Girl, Nerdy Girl Reviews. Um, Excuse the mess. I was very fortunate tonight to tune in to the live feed of Mr. Bad Bunny. He was having his last show in his the PR, and he's in PR, and it's his PR residency before he takes a break, and then he's gonna go on a world tour. So it's streaming currently on Prime Video. It is titled No Me Quiero Ir de Aquí, which is the name of the title of his most recent record, and Una Más. So, kind of like one more before you hit the road, right? Type feel. And, I thought, I'd check it out because it was buzzing everywhere on Instagram, on Facebook. It had been trending for all nearly practically the whole summer because like celebrities were flying in to see this residency in Puerto Rico, and it really lived up to the hype. I mean, I almost feel jealous now because I feel like if you were there in person, you experienced quite a phenomenon. He is on a stratosphere. I mean, he's already very successful. In the short time that he has been in the music business, he is up there. And what a show! I mean, the production value, the music, the musicality, and it was live. A lot of people were saying like, oh, like he ended his residency and this may have been pre-recorded. No, it was not. It was not pre-recorded, and there are instances of videos who are at the actual show tonight, making its way onto Instagram. And plus, there were a little bit of mic issues. So, because it's live, when it's live, it's unpredictable. But it did not disappoint. Homie went on at 8:30 p.m. and his show ended about almost close to 12:30. That's a lot of hours. Of course, there were breaks. But there were instances of other genres that he interjected into this show. I mean, it was an experience. It went from like traditional folklore music that is native to Puerto Rico. So it's almost like a timeline of experiences, even down to how the show opens up to his traditional costuming that is native to Puerto Rico. They have, his musicians playing in the background who play the tambores, have like this hat that believe is called paja, and it's interwoven. And it's native of the culture. So there's that. Then he goes into I believe there was like a video montage that represented like our ancestors and just basically our elders growing older, perhaps even leaving the island and feeling nostalgia for PR. So that is also showcased on the screens, on the big screens, because I believe that was the same concept for the promos. And it pulls at your heartstrings. Anybody who has had family who experienced the same thing of some form of loss, because you do leave a piece of yourself, you know wherever your origin is, either if it's bloodline or it's an actual physical loss from leaving, being displaced from a home, from what you considered your home. And that's kind of interjected with that type of storytelling, with that kind of visual of this much older man speaking to like the traditional frog that they have there, the coqui. Oh my goodness. And then we kind of segue into the casita, the famous casita that's get just popular. A really cool concept too, because when you think about it, most of these musics, this type of music, regardless if it's the traditional music or salsa or reggaeton or perreo, you would hear it in a house party. So the concept was brilliant to bring in a whole house and to be partying like you were in a house party, have guests and your neighbors and whatnot. He had traditional dances, but then he also had the contemporary feel. He had like a hit for everybody. There was the hit for people who were nostalgic. He had a hit for people who are traditionalists. He had a hit for people who wanted to hear contemporary music and get down and dirty with the perreo. I want to say he played like all the greats too, and he gave us extra in the sense that he remixed a few of his songs that were known as reggaeton music, and then was able to kind of finagle that into salsa. I really think that and I give him a lot of credit, because I feel like he's also breaking boundaries of whatever concept that we have. I mean, I think we're still very like with our salseros. We definitely want somebody who has that vocal range, because salsa requires it. When you're singing in front of like these strong elements like a trumpet and percussion, you need that strong sound. But he's almost like teetering where it's like breaking that barrier of like, oh, you think I wouldn't be typically known as a salsero because my range is around here, and so I should just stick to reggaeton. But he's like, no, he's pushing that. He's really challenging what we, and kind of spinning it on its head on what we traditionally would think of what, no, this is how it should be. He's blurring the lines, and that's what music is, and that's what art is, and that's what art should be. It should be able to question and should be able to blur the lines. It should be creative as however it wants to be. And so there was just like a touch on everything, and I gotta say his musicality has really evolved over the years, and he's only been in the music business for a handful of years, I believe. Um, but the range that he's really experiencing in front of our eyes is amazing. The one song that it always manages to choke me up is I don't know the exact title, but debería tomar más fotos, something along those lines is the lyric, and it just breaks my heart because anybody who's also gone through grief or just a sense of nostalgia is just, it tugs at your heartstrings. But wow, honestly, I'm mesmerized. Anybody who was physically there really experienced something that is legendary, and kudos to him to have also locked in a deal with Amazon to have it screen on worldwide. I mean, this is not something that's just for a particular space or a particular island or country. Is worldwide. He is really taking over, and amazingly so. And there were so many punches and hits of everything, of also even touching on the political climate. That I will say, he never strays away from what is happening and is clear and concise, but compassionate enough to speak upon what we are going through and what we are living, where we are living, and where we're at as Latinos, as people who are proud of their culture. What an amazing show. It is replaying now. That's why you're seeing all these crazy lights. As I'm recording this, but I can't stress enough. Run, don't walk. Oh, don't walk. Do try to screen it. However you can screen it, screen it. If they're already showcasing it somewhere where you can see it, see it. And let me know in the comment section down below. Did you watch it? Are you impressed as I am? Because I am enamored. Go Bad Bunny. You did your thing, brother, and much success to you. All right, y'all. XOXO. Nerdy girl.